All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Hidden Springs Ale Works, and they're out of Tampa, Florida, and this is their Return to Cinder. So they're calling this one a Brazilian Açaí Bowl-inspired Pastry Sour, and on the side of the label it says sour ale with banana and acai puree, granola, and natural flavors. It comes in at 5.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, I don't know exactly how old this can is because it does not have a canned on date. However, I believe it is relatively fresh, and that's because it was sent to me by a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Eli. So huge thanks to him for this beer. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he sent my way, and he sent me an entire box of beer from his home state of Florida. And I believe, I'm not sure right now, but I believe this is the final beer from said box. So huge thanks to Eli for all of the beer he sent my way. And he sent me two beers from Hidden Springs Ale Works. The first one was their Electric Pegasus, which was a rainbow sherbet inspired sour ale. Absolutely delicious, old school sour ale, very sour, crisp and tart, and nice fruit character accentuating the base sour, not a huge smoothie sour. And the other one he sent me was this one. So on the side of the label here, it says Riot Society Beer Collab Invitational Winning Concept by Dave Cinder. So obviously the name of this is a play on Return to Cinder. It's Return to Cinder. And he is Brazilian, and he ended up, I guess, submitting a Brazilian Açaí Bowl-inspired pastry sour. He ended up winning, and they brewed it. Now, the cool thing is that Dave Cinder is a friend of Eli's and actually responded to my Instagram post of the aforementioned Electric Pegasus, and he said, I think you're really going to enjoy this one. And I told him I am looking forward to it, and I said it's really cool that he was, congratulations on winning it and brewing it. A lot of people have thoroughly enjoyed this one, and it sounds awesome. Now, listen, I'm not going to bullshit you here. It's the Beer Patrol. You get honest take. I've never had a Brazilian Açaí bowl, but from what I read, it's basically like a breakfast smoothie that's made with frozen acai, a lot of times with banana and granola, which is what is in this one, and then some kind of syrup like guarana syrup or even like honey, some kind of sweetener, right? So this sounds right in my wheelhouse. I hope it's not too sweet, but sweet enough. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I mean, banana, granola, acai, awesome. Now, this was originally released earlier this year. I think it was March 8th. They posted on Instagram. I don't know if they've done let me do a little roll here. I don't know if they've done another batch of this one, or if this is a little over 6 months old. Regardless, we should be fine. We should be fine. But I just want to let you know that I don't know how old it is because it does not have a canned on date. But also Hidden Springs, they responded to my IG post and said that they were happy with the review and everything, but they said, we don't do the smoothie sour stuff here. We do the old school sours, and I'm here for it. So, yeah, this is looking much like the other one where it's light. It's not, a bunch of fruit puree, remnants. A little bit crazy on the pour here. I did go a little aggressive. We'll do something like that. All right. I am looking forward to this. So, how does that look? It almost looks like a nitro head. So, this has a beautiful kind of kind of looks like an old school, I'll be honest with you, it kind of looks like an old school, hazy, or American IPA, but just hazy. Has that deeper orange with some kind of reddish hints to it. I'm going to leave this up here, and I'm going to try to go underneath with it to see if, yeah, I mean, you can see it through the back here. That's not real. It's just, it looks a little, here's the thing, with these orange beers, and usually they're old school IPAs, they always look a little bit darker in terms of the orange color. Same thing happening here. It's a little bit lighter in person, but on camera, yeah, I mean, a little bit darker. Again, almost 3 fingers of this super creamy, I'd say more of an off-white, almost like a slight pinkish tone, but an off-white kind of look to it. Looks absolutely fantastic in glass, but it doesn't really look like sour, honestly. It looks kind of, like I said, like an old school American IPA, but is what it is. Good carbonation. Clarity is not through the roof. I can see my shadow through the glass, but it does have a somewhat of a haziness to it. Anyway, nose. Oh my God. It's almost like I smell it's banana and granola. It's like if you've ever had yogurt, but you sliced up some bananas and you threw some granola on top, like a vanilla granola. A little bit of that acai as well. There's a nice tartness to the nose. Don't get me wrong, it has a nice sweetness to it, but there is a pretty good tartness. Wow. Dude, this smells like a yogurt. And that's kind of what I like about certain sours. They have that like yogurty kind of like funkiness that a lot of times because of the bacteria they're using and whatnot, it can kind of have like that yogurt kind of vibe to it. But honestly, it smells very akin to like a smoothie, which is what a Brazilian Açaí Bowl is to some degree. Like if you had like this banana, like almost like a strawberry banana, but replace the strawberry with acai smoothie. That's exactly what it smells like. Maybe if you sprinkled some granola in there. It doesn't smell like it's going to be sickly sweet. I'm pouring a little bit more in here. This smells like a fun beer. That's what this smells like. Am I going to have to save it? I might have to save it. No, I'm not going to have to save it. Now, folks, into the glass. Now this beer looks fucking sensational, except for all my handprints everywhere. But that looks awesome in the glass. Look at that beer. Just looks fan-fucking-tastic. I love it. Anyway, it smells pretty good. It smells wild. Smells different. This is not something I'm accustomed to. I drink a lot of sours, but this is a unique kind of take on a sour, which is probably the reason why David won the competition, because this just is something I've never experienced in beer before. It's banana, it's granola, it's acai, has like a fruitiness to it, but almost a yogurt vibe to it. I want to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Eli, and congratulations, David. Hopefully it's just as tasty as it smells. Cheers. Oh my God, is that good? That's real fucking good. Real good. So, one thing I really dig about Hidden Springs Ale Works, the second beer I've had from them, when it comes to these sours, even though they're labeling this a pastry sour, and it is a pastry sour, don't get me wrong, it has a nice sweetness. Man, do they still bring that tart sour quality. And you might be looking at me kind of sideways through the camera. But, and you might be saying, hey, you know, it's a sour beer. Shouldn't it be sour? Yeah, it should be. And you know what? A lot of these smoothie sours and these heavily fruited sours, they don't bring the sourness. It's like you just have a bunch of fruit puree mixed with like a generic base beer that's a lot of times not even sour and just sweet and sweet and sweet. And I call them flight beers because I only want like 4 to 5 ounces of it. I'm housing this entire can. No questions asked. Housing this entire fucking can. It does have a nice sweetness to give it the pastry edge to it, but I think the pastry edge in this one is actually coming from the fact that it is based off the Brazilian Açaí Bowl, which is, again, kind of a, not quite pastry-esque, but still a sweeter kind of like breakfast smoothie thing. But I love the level of sourness. This is like a low sour. This is not as sour as the Electric Pegasus, but it's not far off, and it just has depths and layers of complexity to the flavors. Buying this one, medium, touch over medium. Really nice for 5.5%. It's a little bit thicker and bigger than the Electric Pegasus, so it's nice. The mouthfeel is very crisp. It has like a moderate carbonation, nice smooth, slight creamy sensation. But again, this is more of an old school sour kind of mouthfeel, which I said about that Electric Pegasus as well. I'm referencing the Electric Pegasus because it's the only other beer I've had from Hidden Springs. And again, it is a sour beer, a rainbow sherbet-inspired sour beer. So it's kind of fresh in my memory too. So body and mouthfeel are really nice. The taste, forefront is the Asahi, but I could also mistake it for like a generic kind of like berry, like a regular just like strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, boysenberry, something like that, but it's in that realm. It has this nice tart, slight, almost jammy kind of component to it. Right after that, banana. It's a ripened banana. It's a sweeter banana. I'm also getting, and they say natural flavors, and they mention banana, granola, and acai. I'm getting almost something that I could mistake for like maple or honey or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's where the natural flavors come in. But it almost has like a little bit of that sweet syrupy kind of vibe to it. It's like a blanket of that, but not too big. Underlying yogurt vibes, so like a yogurty kind of, again, just a lot of times I would get that with sours back in the day where it just has that yogurty kind of bacteria-esque kind of feel to it, kind of getting that here. And the finish is this beautiful, really nice, firmly kind of granola-esque quality to it. This has a really nice dryness to it, like firmly dry, not bone dry, but firmly dry with a mild bitterness. Again, I like, there's a touch of acidity here too. So again, it's pretty sweet up front, but the low sourness and the mild acidity, along with that firm dryness, really break up the monotony of all the sweet components to this one. While you can say in the name that this is a pastry sour, it's not a pastry sour in the way that I think a lot of people look at pastry sours, as in, oh, it's gonna be a super sweet sour. It's that it's replicating a pastry-esque kind of treat here with the Brazilian Açaí Bowl. And the beautiful thing about this is that it actually works incredibly well. 5.5%, yeah, sure. You can't really taste it. I will give this beer kudos for 2 reasons. Number 1, I've never really experienced anything exactly like this in a beer. I've had a lot of different wild concoctions over the years. I've reviewed over 2,500 beers on the channel. I have drank close to 10,000 unique beers, but I have never had something that is a Brazilian Açaí Bowl-inspired pastry sour. I just haven't. And I think the flavors work really well that now I'm almost curious to actually go and consume one of these bowls myself in, outside of a beer world, like, get an actual bowl of it, because I think the flavor profile is awesome and kind of right in the realm of what I would like. I kudos to this not being sickly sweet. It's still having sourness to it, a nice dryness, a little bit of acidity, the body mouthfeel not bogging down the palate, just a really well-rounded, good sour that, sure, you can call it as some kind of pastry sour, but don't think of it as like a super sweet pastry sour. It just has the flavors of something that is a pastry. So I'm really digging this one. I like this a little bit more than Electric Pegasus. Really good job. I can see why David won the competition. Like I said, this is very unique, something I've never experienced before, and I'm really happy Eli threw a can of in the mail because, yeah, this is fun. Beer's fun. Beer is supposed to be fun. This is fun. So Return to Cinder from Hidden Springs. A little 4.5 and go 4.45. I really dig this one. And yeah, really just delicious beer. And it does taste like a beer. That's the beauty. I can tell this is a beer as opposed to, a smoothie that just has some carbonation to it. So I really do dig this one. Price point availability. I looked on their website. They still had it on the website. $18 a 4-pack. So $4.50 a can. Sure. It's 5.5%, but it has all that adjunct. All those adjuncts. They gave it a 4.45. I'd have no issue paying $5, around $5 a can for this easily. And the availability, it's Hidden Springs. I have no idea outside of Florida. I've never seen them here in the Buffalo, New York area or New York State in general. But they make me want to try more of their beers. Like these 2 beers were like, there's so many different fucking beers out there now. All different kinds of pastry beers and smoothie beers and heavily fruited and slushies and this and that. And these just remind me of old school beers to some degree with a new school influence. That's what that Electric Pegasus was. That's what this beer is. And I'm here for it. I don't need these super thick, over the top beers. Just give me ones that are good. Have a good base beer. I'm here for it. So congratulations to David on this beer and also Hidden Springs. Great collaboration. I would love to try more from them down the line. We'll see if that ever comes to fruition. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll get this show to New York State at some point. But if not, I can't thank Eli enough for the awesome box of beers. Really thoughtful box of beers too, especially with something like this. So yeah, anyway, I think David said he was going to be in Florida early next year for, I think it's like Tampa Bay Beer Week. He mentioned something about he's like, try to send you some Brazilian beers. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm up for it. I've never had, I don't think, like authentic Brazilian craft beer or beers in general. So that would be pretty wild to try. But at the end of the day, regardless, I'm just happy I was able to try this beer out, and yeah, I'm super stoked about it. So yeah, anyway, like I said, 5.5%, you can't tell, sure, whatever. If you've had this one before, anything from Hidden Springs, Gregory, anybody else, let me know. And if they still have this by the time I post this review at the brewery, go check this one out. Just because it's a unique, fun beer. Go check it out. I don't know if you'll love it like I do, but go check it out. Beer's supposed to be fun. This is a fun beer. That's all I got for you. So huge thanks to Eli for this beer. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.